Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I thought for my maiden voyage of craft videos, I would show you how to cut strips and fabric to make beads from. And kind of what I do. You know, I know there's other ones out there, but this is kind of what I have done. My mother used to do this. She used to use church bulletins and cut, and the front pattern of the bulletin picture would make the different colors of the beads that she would use, and then she'd use them to make necklaces with. So, first I'll show you, if I can find it. Yes, here. These are some of the ones that I've been working on. This one is from, my grandchildren made me a picture. So it's finger painted paper. And I cut the ends of it after I put it in a frame. There was some of the edges left. I made beads out of them. And these here are actually finished bead made from cloth. And you can make them different lengths, whatever lengths you need, whatever sizes you need, colors. There's just a variety of, I mean, no end to what you can do doing these things. So let's get started. Let me set this on the side here out of the way. First place, getting strips. You can use, well, my mother used bulletins. You can get a pad of craft paper from the store and just cut strips. I like to do all kinds of different crafts, so card making, quilling, all that kind of thing leaves you with excess strips, and so I kind of use scraps. Another way you can do it is to go to the dollar store and you can just get a book for $1. And they have the pages with the writings, and you can use those for patterns of beads. So I have one here. It's just a page that I took from that book. And all I do is I will trim it up, kind of use the book edge, because that's relatively, you know, that's straight because it was on the edge of the book. And then I use my cutter, or you can use a scissor, and I just straighten up the edges. And I will take off the excess because I don't want the end to end without any pattern on it. All right, and so we've got it kind of cleaned up. I don't worry about being perfect, but I get as straight as I can. And now this length is going to depend on how thick your bead's going to be. If you want to use the grommets for the ends like I did, and they come in packs, and you can even get multicolors of them. So you could have blue ends, the bronze, pink, blue, red, yellow, silver. I used a lot of silver, but then I thought, well, I'm going to liven it up a little bit, and for whatever pattern or paper you use, you can actually get those ends. They're just in the sewing section of the grommets to match the color of your fabric or your paper. So I'm just cutting some strips because I don't know, I've been doing them about that length lately. And you just cut them, you know, cut a bunch of strips. And you do the same thing with cloth. And let me get a piece of cloth here. These are a little tougher because sometimes they fray. But you just line it up. Now these are relatively even. So I will just line it up and cut strips. Didn't quite get that end. There we go. And you just cut along and get however many you want to do. You could just do them ahead of time, and then you can do your jewelry making, beadwork, anything after that. So once you got your strips, that's when the fun starts. What you need some glue, and you can use anything from art glue. I just have some regular glue. You can use your glue sticks. They don't work. These don't work as good on fabric as just regular glue, but they're fine with paper. And then you need a straw. And what I do is, and I'll demonstrate on paper, is you pick your side where you want it to finish, and you just start, roll it on here, get it started, kind of tight, and it comes with getting used to it. Even I don't get them as tight as I want to sometimes, but that's okay. Put a little glue on there. Doesn't matter if you're messy. That's the fun part of crafting. Is you can make a mess, and creativity comes out of all the stuff around you. So you roll it up however thick you want it. Just like that. And I'm kind of getting off just a little bit, but that's all right. You roll it up. Glue on the end. I always manage to get it all over my fingers as well. But that's okay, because once you get it here, squish it. You'll have some on your fingers, but that you can use to put on the edges. And it kind of helps hold it down. There. Now, because we used a straw, the straw end keeps it about the perfect size for the grommet end. So what I do is I'll pull the straw out just a little ways, and you can put glue on the straw to hold the straw in there, but it's not necessary. And you clip off the end of the straw, push it back in, and you've got your bead. Now for the grommets, you put a little bit on the end, and you take your grommet, and I picked ones that kind of match, the kind of the brownness of the paper. You just put it on the end, and you flip it over, put this one on this end, a little bit of glue. Put that in there, and there you got your bead. Now, because this is paper, if it gets wet, it's going to have an issue. So what I use, you can use Mod Podge, anything that will kind of cover it. I've been using triple thick. It's a pretty good product. I don't remember where I got this one. It's non-yellowing, clear, shiny finish. And I just use that, put it on with a brush. Just put a nice coating on there. And you'll probably get it on your fingers, but it washes off your hands. You could actually use anything that would put a finish on it. You could probably use, and I have not done this, but the, what is it called? Embossing powder. You know, when you put the powder on, heat it up, and it puts a coat. But you put this on here, just like that. And then what I did for drying, because I don't want to just set it on the ground or the table. I don't think anybody would want to set it on the ground. Don't know why I said ground, but I made this little foam piece with toothpicks, and all I do is I take it and I set it on there, and there it stands, and it will dry. Now, if you really want it glossy, you can do more than one coat. You can put as many coats on there as you want. It's kind of up to just whoever's crafting. That's sometimes if it's not a major use item, yeah, I'll just put one coat on there just as protection. But a lot of times I put at least two. Now as far as the cloth, it's basically done the exact same way. You just basically take your straw, roll it on there. Now with this, because it's a little bit thicker, I'm going to shorten up the size. Just a little bit. Just because the grommets that I use are only so wide. So you go on there, and you start going around. A little bit of glue. Just roll it up. Sometimes actually the fabric is even easier to do than the paper because it doesn't quite fight you as much to roll up. And some fabrics I've noticed when you do this, leave a little discoloration of the glue there. When you coat them, that should go away. I'm going to get a better scissor than that little one I had. You just trim it off. Push it in. And there you've got a cloth bead. I'll actually coat this one for you as well. As soon as I get grommets in the ends of it. Oh, I'm dropping things everywhere. Let's see. A little bit of glue. Put the grommet in. And if there's any fraying or anything like that, you can just kind of tuck it in. Just to kind of make it even. And I'll do the other side here. Put that one in. And there's your bead. Now what? Pick this up off the floor. Just basically coat it the same way. Sometimes these take a few more coats than the paper does, because they can tend to soak it up a little bit. thread on my finger. Oh, don't worry. Just put it down. Kind of loosened up because of the coating you're putting on it. But it will stay. And then once you have that all taken care of, get this out of the way. Then you just do the same thing. Just put it on there to let it dry. And there you go. That's how I make paper beads or fabric beads. And I'm sure with some other projects that I have that I'm thinking of doing, we will revisit these and we will make a project out of them. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope it just gives you some inspiration to take this and maybe even go to the next level. Come up with some ideas and creations on your own. Other ideas for maybe the ends or, what have you. There's some other shapes of beads that I'll probably do a tutorial on later. This was just kind of an introduction to what I do for the bead making, and I'll do some more in further tutorials. I just hope that you all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm just starting out on this journey, and I'm just looking forward to making more tutorials and maybe inspiring some people to take things to the next level, do some things, be creative. In these times of having to be home, a hobby is one thing that's really, really good. Gets your mind off of it, gets you thinking. Even these beads, because the grommets have a decent sized hole, kids could do this. Kids could make their own necklaces, or necklaces for presents for their grandparents or family members. Sky's the limit. So if you happen to like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out a video probably at least once a week, and maybe more. Depends on how crazy I get, because I really actually did enjoy this. So we will just see you next time. Bye.